Jobs has been an Achilles heel, not just for this government, but previous governments as well. Particularly for this, because Prime Minister Modi rode to power promising creation of 2 crore jobs a year. If you look around, his government is being criticized on all quarters for lack of job creation. As somebody who heads a manpower consulting firm, do you think the situation has significantly worsened in the last 4.5 years?
Well, I don't think India's official unemployment rate is a fudge, right? I think you have to make up your mind. Our official unemployment rate since independence has between 3 and 6%. So we don't have, our labor market doesn't have a jobs problem, we have a poverty problem. So no, I don't think that things have gotten worse. In fact, I think there are two very important numbers, 30 million new Provident Fund and ESI payers and 6 million new registered enterprises. Now this is a new formalization. I'm not claiming that they are new jobs, but they are new formal jobs. And since India doesn't have a jobs problem and we have a wages problem, I think we are making progress on formalization, and formalization is the only way to raise wages.
In a country like ours, and I think it's only fair that we talk about the jobs of the future, there is Industrial Revolution 4.0 upon us. Is it going to be realistic for India to create around the jobs that we need? 15 million people are entering the job market. How do we create jobs that are going to be relevant in the future, and the jobs that the future will need?
Oh, I would say Industry 4.0 is not relevant for India at this stage of our development. You know, machine learning, automation, robotics is very relevant for countries like America, which are at a per capita income of $50,000 because they are at the productivity frontier. India with a per capita income of $1,500 has a lot of lower hanging fruit like regulatory cholesterol, human capital and infrastructure which we can fix. What is the nightmare scenario of the US? 50% of their labor force will generate 13% of their GDP. We are already there. हमारा क्या बिगाड़ लोगे यार? I mean, India, half our labor force produces 13% of our GDP. So we are so far away from the productivity frontier that I think photocopying or echoing some of the concerns which are very valid in a country which is trying to prevent people from falling into poverty are not always applicable to a country like India, which is trying to pull people out of poverty. So I would submit that India is so far from the productivity frontier that from our journey from $1,500 to $8,000 to $10,000 per capita income is not really retarded, hurt or diminished by Industry 4.0. Now, will we ever get to America's $50,000 per capita income? I don't know. But I think right now let's focus on becoming a middle income country between $8,000 to $10,000. Which is not a problem like cancer or climate change. The binding constraint is not external to India. It is just regulatory cholesterol, human capital and in better infrastructure.